Hello, this is my innovative marine 25-gallon lagoon. I've had this tank for a few months now, and everything seems to be going well. All of the livestock are healthy, and I've even recently added a fish. As you can see, this 6-line wrasse in the lower left corner. I thought I'd maybe share a video, see if I can connect with others who may also have this tank or similar corals, and we could help each other take care of these animals. I'll also maybe upload some more videos in the future as updates to this tank setup. This is my first tank of any kind, so I'm not an expert by any means. However, I have done research to make sure I have some basic understandings of the requirements for these corals and for this fish to try to be successful, to try to give these animals a good life. So in the future, if there's any interest in this, I'll upload more. Okay, here we have some various corallimorphs or mushroom anemones. Just a random assortment of mushrooms that I found fascinating. Starting in the front, bottom left, this is the Powerball or Hallelujah Bounce Rhodactis. To its right is some sort of hairy Rhodactis or fuzzy Rhodactis. It has some interesting green and teal vesicles. In the top right is a orange Rickordia yuma. The trade name is a doughboy or beanbag, but it's just a name. I really like those bold orange swirls that it has. Right in the middle, the big one there, again, another Rickordia yuma. I think that's probably my favorite one just because of the enlarged vesicles on it. And on the left, top left, is just a random mystery Rhodactis that does seem to have some enlarged vesicles as well. We'll see how that looks. I don't know if this is gonna develop any more colors or, just hoping it'll get big and be happy and healthy. Okay, behind the mushrooms here, I have various frog spawns. I think they used to be called Euphilia, or maybe they've been reclassified into something, I'm not sure. On the left, I have, I believe they're called Paradivisa, or the branching variety of frog spawn, or octospawn. And then on the right, I have this one larger wall frog spawn, or Divisa, I think is how they're called. It's a lot bigger than I was expecting. I thought I was getting a single head of a branching frog spawn, and then this huge thing came, and it just it's quite large for this size tank, I think, but it seems happy. And I can put it in close proximity to the other frog spawn without them stinging each other or anything. Okay, the main feature of my tank, if we want to call it a feature, is this rock that I have with several micromusa. I think they were formerly called acans. There's a mix of micromusa Lord Howenses, I think is how you say it, which are the larger polyped pieces here, and then also a handful of micromusa amacucensis. Again, sorry if I'm mispronouncing these words. I just found these quite interesting. The size of the polyps can be quite amazing, and they seem easy as corals. So I haven't lost any of them. They always seem happy, and they have great colors and textures. And you know, this camera is not very good. It's an old phone, so it doesn't really do these things justice. But you know, maybe I can find a better camera in the future. We'll see. Okay, on this rock behind the Micromusa, I have several different zoanthids or zoas. You know, I think this variety of animal, I don't know if they're actually corals. I think they're called like I don't know, colonial anemones, something like that. I'm not sure. But I think that this variety of, let's just call them coral, have like the most amazing colors in the hobby. Like, you know, period. I don't think any other corals can really match the variety and boldness of colors that you get from these zoanthids. So, you know, I have a few other random corals, like this little chalice in the lower left, and a small candy cane, which I think maybe I'll try to trade for just some more zoanthids, because I think that they're just okay. And here we have a couple of soft corals. One is a type of xenia, and the other one is a stereonephthia. I just tried to get a couple of soft corals to see how they'd look, see how they do. They seem to be doing pretty well. The stereonephthia is a bit bent over right now, but usually it's kind of straight up. Though I have noticed it bending over a little bit more lately, so it might just be acclimating more to the lighting that it has. But you know, I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest with you. I do like that xenia. You know, when it's in lower flow, it pulses, so that's, you know, it's a very cool effect that you don't get from other corals. And then for the stereonephthia, you know, I think I may just try to trade that for some other zoanthids. We'll see. And then finally, yeah, my camera is not, again, it's not very good, so it's hard to get focused on this. But I've just been trying this one piece of bird's nest. You know, this tank is lit as like as an LPS tank, so it has lower lighting. You know, probably around, you know, where this bird's nest is, it's probably around 150, 160, maybe a little bit more than that, but it's around there. So I was just trying it out to see how it'd do. I've had it for a little while now, and it's grown. It still has some color, and it seems to be doing well. So, you know, I don't have crazy flow in this tank, but you know, I know it's hard to see from this video, but it's enough flow to just kind of, you know, gently move the polyps on this little piece and keep it clean, which I think is maybe all it needs. We'll see. So one of the coolest parts of having a shallow lagoon tank is obviously this top-down view that you get. So I just figured I'd highlight that for a minute. You know, I really love the mushrooms, especially from this top-down view. Well, really everything. You know, even these little clove polyps, but especially this acan, you know, massive chaos that I have here with these acans. You know, from this top-down view, it's actually quite beautiful. Just to see the symphony of colors that occur in nature, it's just, it's mind-boggling. You know, I compare it to that movie Annihilation, right? It's just all this random bits of DNA and zooxanthellae and who knows what else, you know, environmental factors that are all just bombarding life in the ocean and creating this chaos and this randomness that, you know, almost doesn't look random, you know, because it all goes together so beautifully. Here's a nice look at some of the zoanthids, again, from this top-down view. You can see I also have a couple of mushrooms on this rock as well. And then here you can see that xenia You know, you can see it pulsing on its own here with the flow turned off. You know, this is not the regular Red Sea Zinnia that many people consider a weed or even a pest because it can grow out of control. This is actually called a Bali giant zinnia, and it's supposed to just grow, you know, one large stalk and sort of turn into like a tree. But it also preserves that pulsing action that you see in, you know, a regular zinnia. Okay, and then this is the top-down view of the frog spawn. You know, I think I have 4 varieties of the branching frog spawn on the left, or octospawn. I think some of them are considered octospawn. And then of course that larger wall frog spawn on the right, which is huge. That, you know, so that one on the right is, you know, bigger than, you know, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 heads of branching frog spawn on the left. It's also quite bright. It's really, I really like it. But like I said, it's a small tank and it's huge. So I don't know how long this guy will be remaining in the tank, or how long the branching ones will be remaining. You know, maybe I get rid of the branching and keep the wall frog spawn. We'll see. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll keep them both. Maybe I can. Yeah, so there you go. You know, again, if there's any interest in this tank or seeing its progress, or if anyone would like to see, you know, more about the setup of the tank, you know, the various accessories and lighting information, you know, the controllers and all that, you know, I could maybe make a second video addressing some of those things. You know, again, this is my first tank, so I'm not an expert on these things, so I don't know how, you know, how valuable my input would be in these things, but I can give you, you know, maybe my own experiences as a novice, you know, learning, you know, the various tools of the hobby.